Full Metal Nation, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Full Metal Grandpa, and as always, I am your host, Nightmare66. Today we're going to discuss stock options for the Ruger American. No, I'm not talking about that happy horse shit Wall Street shit. We're talking about replacing this big pile of shit, this literal Happy Meal toy that the Ruger American, that Ruger decided to put on such a fine rifle as the American. Have you handled one of these things? They're flimsy as fuck, man. Viagra couldn't save this piece of shit. So, if you've been with the channel for a while, you know that I am a huge fan of Ruger Americans, and if this is your first time, now you know. And thanks for checking me out. If you stumbled here by mistake and were looking for the AK guy, I am obviously not him, because I am not nearly as eloquent, nor do I have a luxurious head of hair. Alright, so the first Ruger American I started playing with was my 308, and I decided to go initially with the Ruger Hunter American stock. The Magpul Hunter American stock. And this was at least twice, if not three times, the stock option that the original was. It's got like a steel bedding block in there for the action. You got M-lock slots on both sides. There's M-lock slots on the bottom. They're covered up by my Arca rail. I do run Arca rail on all my rifles now because my bipods, my tripods, and even the mount for my Garmin chronograph is Arca Swiss. So it's adjustable. You can buy different cheek risers for this to match, whatever comb height you really need. You can buy extra spacers to adjust the length of pull to quite a ways out. And yeah, I mean, it was great. One thing with the factory stock, and one of the stocks I'm going to show you, is you had to remove the mag catch to get at the action screws, or the rear action screw. With Magpul, you didn't have to worry about that. And another option that got caught up as well. So yeah, so the 308 lived on this chassis for just about 4 years. Chassis stock, I don't know what you want to call it. Alright, so then about a year ago, I started building up another rifle. I ended up getting a Ruger American in 6.5 Creedmoor. And of course, the original factory stock was not going to be an option at all for me. So I ended up going with the MTD Oryx. Okay, and this was a better option than the Magpul stock was. One gripe about the Magpul stock and the MTD Oryx is you can't adjust the butt pad to slide up some, so that way when you're shooting prone, it rides up higher on your shoulder. The cheek piece, it can be adjusted up or down, however, not forward or backwards. And if you want to adjust the length to pull out further, you have to buy additional spacers. Well, I mean, you're already $350 deep into it when you buy this. And the other gripes I got against it is, like I mentioned before, you have to remove this mag catch to get the rear action screw. There's no freaking M-locks on either side of this damn thing. I mean, you got a lot of real estate on the bottom here, but if you run an Arca rail, then you can't mount a quick disconnect sling mount. I've got a Picatinny mount for my GoPro that I can attach to my rifles, and that's not an option. And if you want, you get two options for Arca rails. because they've got this weird little bend right in here. I don't know if you can see it. You either have to go with their offering for an Arca rail, and I'm at 20% battery. I'll be right back. All right, fresh battery, we're back. There we go. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so you either have to buy their Arca rail, which is rather expensive. I don't remember what the price was. Or you buy a cheap piece of shit off Amazon and modify it yourself, which is what I did. But again, this was better than the Ruger American, but I mean the Magpul Hunter American, but it was also more expensive. Meanwhile, while the 6.5 was living on that, and the 308 was living on the Magpul, you know, junkies got to feed junkies. Yeah, junkies got to feed their addiction. So I ended up buying another Ruger American, this time in 223. And then I thought, well, you know, the 308's getting jealous, and yes, rifles do get jealous of each other. It's in the Bible. Look it up. Somewhere in the back, I think. Anyways, so I decided I was going to go buy another chassis for the 308, and I took the Ruger the Magpul Hunter American and put it on the 223. However, this was for short action. So I ended up buying a Magwell adapter for it called a Snag something or other. And it was like $85. And, you know, I already had however much sunk into this stock to begin with. It's like, really? $85? So anyways, I bit the bullet and I got the $85 part, and the 223 lived on that. So then, the 308 was naked, so I ended up purchasing the Sharps Bros Heatseeker chassis for the Ruger short action. Brother, let me tell you, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is the coup de grace, if you will, for stock options or chassis options for the Ruger American that I found. Problem is, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. From right here to right here was $450. And yeah, so you had to buy the pistol grip separate, and you had to buy the buttstock separate, and yeah, it got expensive real quick. The buttstock that I have on this is an MTD. I forget the model number, but it's like one of the more top of the line ones. You can adjust the butt pad so it'll ride up higher up on your shoulder. Cheek piece, you can go up and down on the fly. You can adjust it forwards and backwards. You can adjust the length of pull on the fly. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's solid, but that buttstock was $325, something like that. As you can tell, I'm not married. But I mean, look at this damn thing. I mean, it's got the cutie sling adapter already milled into it. It's got fucking M-lock for days, man. You can, dude. Even up here, you can run a PEX if you want it, if you felt compelled to. Night vision. I don't know, some gay fucking hood ornament or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, this is the coup de grace. So yeah. So then, you know, because addicts got to feed their addiction, I thought, what else? So I picked up another chassis for the 6.5 because the Sharps Brothers left the MTD fucking in the dust. It's, yeah, it blew them out of the water. So, but the Sharps Brothers was a pretty expensive endeavor, and then I found out about this company called Outlier, and I believe that they're an offshoot of Arcan Optics, and I'm a huge fan of Arcan Optics, and I might do another video about just Arcan Optics alone in the future. But so I ended up going with their chassis for the Ruger American short action, and this one actually came with their buttstock. Well, I had to order it separately, but they had an offering for it, and I think it was like their mid-grade buttstock or whatever. Again, you can adjust the butt pad to ride higher up for prone. You can run the cheek piece up and down or forward or backwards. Problem with the cheek piece is it looks like it's like 3D printed, and it looks janky as fuck. So, but yeah, I mean, they had a promo code, and I want to say from the end of the handguard to the end of the buttstock was $350 maybe. So, I mean, it was a really good deal. They do offer a bag rider option, but I didn't see it on the website when I ordered this. And then I went back to look for it, and I think the cheapest option was $25, but then they wanted $25 shipping. Sorry, it doesn't take you $25 shipping and handling to send a freaking bag rider. So I had this one laying around, and I just modified it to work in the existing screw holes in the buttstock. This thing, it's nice. It's nicer than the Oryx, but it's not a heat seeker. The aluminum on it is a lot more flimsy. I mean, it's still rigid, but it's not as rigid as the heat seeker. One cool thing about this is it's already got I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera, it's already got an Arca rail milled into it, but the Arca rail stops right there. You can see where the mag well is, so if you need to run a barricade stop, that's all the further it's going back. Also, the Arca isn't milled all the way to the end of the handguard, so if you wanted to jettison your bipod right quick, you should out of luck. So there's that. That, and I don't believe the fit and the finish is quite as nice as the Heatseeker is. When I was bolting on the handguard, I forget which, it wanted to cant one way or the other, so I had to be really careful about how I torqued down the mounting bolts to the main chassis. So, but for $350, totally worth it. If the Heatseeker is not in your wheelhouse, I would, yeah, I'd walk right, I'd scroll right past the MDT Oryx. So, with all that having been said, addicts got to feed their addiction. Had to get rid of the Ruger American chassis. I mean, the Magpul Hunter American stock. Ended up getting another Heatseeker for the 223. This one is specifically for the ranch model, so it does accept the AR stocks. And if this does everything for my 223 that the other one did for my 308, I am very excited for the future. That 223 is a pretty freaking great rifle to begin with. Yeah, so within the next week or two, I'm going to get this one painted up. Oh, and that brings me to another point. I don't know if you guys have noticed the paint jobs on my chassis, but these are my own paint jobs, and I'm really happy with them. And you know what? Black is old school, black is boring, black is dumb. So I am going to be showing you guys how to do that paint job on this chassis in the very near future, hopefully within the next week or two. We'll see how it goes. I've been really busy, and if you've been with the channel for a while, I'm sorry I haven't posted a video in a year. We can't talk, that's why. No, I've been extremely busy. So, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share with your range buddies. If you've been with the channel for a while, thanks for coming back. Really appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for future episodes. Happy November turned out the way that it did. 47, baby. So, that has been said. Thanks again, folks. Love you guys. Peace.